Parkside Artists. Today we are going to be making a quilt square based off of Connie Savoy. And we are going to be thinking about how to use color and shape to create a composition or a design for our quilt square. Now, some of the things about our quilt square will be the same, but a lot of things will be different. So at the drive-thru, what you're going to need to grab is a big white square. You could take either gray or black. I think I'm going to use black. And 2 to 3 colored squares, and your colored squares will be decided by what grade you're in. So if you just wanted 2, you could have 2. If you would like all 3, take all 3. At your seat, you'll also need scissors and glue. Now, the first thing I would like you to do is to fold your white square in half twice. So in half like a hamburger, or hot dog, I guess. That's our first fold. And in half like a hamburger. That's our second fold. We're going to be making an X in the middle of our square. So if I unfold this, you can see a little X or a plus sign. This breaks my big white square up into 4 different boxes. I need a shape or a paper in each of these boxes. Don't leave one blank. I need a shape or design in each box. Now, how you decide to make your shapes is up to you. There's lots of different problem solving that you could do. Like if I wanted a triangle, what I could do is cut this in half. From one corner to the other, I can create a triangle. If I would like 4 yellow triangles, I'll cut it in half again. Do you see how I put the triangle over the other? That way I can create 4 with one cut. If I'd like to make even smaller triangles, I could cut them in half again. So stack them up best I can and cut them in half. We can make triangles with our squares. If I wanted to make a circle with this square, there's 2 things you could do. You could grab a pencil and sketch out a circle, draw it, I mean. Or you could take your scissors, and just like when you were in kindergarten, we practice making circles by cutting off the corners. I go around and I cut off the corners of the square. Now I want this to be a circle, so I've got to go around and cut the corners again. And that's how you can make a circle from a square. It's just cutting off each corner until you've got a circle. At some point, your scissors might have to start to kind of turn to make a circle. And keep cutting and cutting until it's the size that I would like. Now, what if I wanted to make a new shape? A shape that I make up on my own. That would be just fine with me. You're the artist. You get to decide. I think I'm going to make 2 triangles and then I'm going to curve the edge. You don't have to do this. It's your choice. Oh, I made 2 semicircles. I didn't even think about that. Now with this black, once again, you can make any shapes that you would like. If I wanted to make smaller squares, I could cut it in half and in half again. Once I have all of my shapes cut, I'm not going to throw away these scraps yet because those could come in handy with creating my design. I can lay them out, and my goal was to fill in each box. So whichever way you think would look good, start creating a design. Once you have a design that you would like, you're going to be using a glue bottle, and you're going to be gluing a little dot of glue on each shape. When we glue at Parkside, we try to make sure that our dot of glue is no bigger than our pinky fingernail. Glue sticks way better if there are lots of little dots instead of one big dot. 2 or 3 dots of glue on each shape, keeping those dots really small. notice how I have all these shapes laid out, but there's some parts that are hanging off the edge. I'm gonna need to trim those off. My quilt square, the design can't leave the square. So if there are parts hanging off, those will have to get trimmed. You could trim them after you're done gluing or before. I'll leave it up to you. When I have all of my shapes glued on, what I can do is press down and count to 10. What I'm gonna do is just go like this with my hands and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if for some reason I get glue on my hands, that happens. I don't need to go to the sink or use a paper towel. Here's my sneaky trick. All you need to do is rub your hands together and the glue rubs right off. My quilt square is done. The last thing I need to do is clean up. So I need to twist the cap of my glue bottle and put that in my caddy. My scissors, they go in my caddy. My art project is gonna need to go into the drying rack today. So I'll put out some messy mats so you can slide that on a messy mat. All of these little scraps that I created, those need to go to the trashy trash. You could scoop them in your hand off the table and carry them over to throw away. I can't wait to see all your original quilt squares, Parkside artists.